Jay Delsing spent 25 years on the PGA Tour and is a lifetime member of the PGA Tour and PGA of America. Now he provides his unique perspective as a golfer and network broadcaster. It's time to go on the range with Jay Delsing.
On the Range is brought to you by the Gateway section of the PGA.
Hey, this is Golf with Jay Delsing. I'm your host, Jay. I got Perley with me. Perley, what's happening this morning?
Just ready to roll, man. Just ready to roll. Been out there breaking leaves and prepping the world to get ready for the show.
Well, that's just beautiful. We formatted the show like a round of golf. This first segment is called the On the Range segment, as you heard, and it's brought to you by the Gateway PGA. There's over 300 men and women in our Gateway section, and they're shutting it down a little bit this time of year. The weather's changing, and, man, they've worked their butts off. Their tails off, just trying to make our golf experience better. And so we really appreciate them. Pearl, social media, is Facebook still avoiding your calls?
Well, it's meta now, Jay. Get your terminology straight. But it's just fine. They're a little bit preoccupied with the rest of the world, but I'm sure I'll be getting a call back from Mark any day.
All right, that's cool. Good to know. So we're in good stead with our social media guru, Perley, and we know if you guys need anything for your home, inside or outside, the people to call are Bob and Kathy Donahue at Donahue Painting and Refinishing, 314-805-2132. Check out their website. Check out them. Call them. Kathy Donahue. These guys are great people, so they are there to help. All right, so Pearl, this show. Biggest news in golf probably in the last 6 weeks. Tiger released a video. Yeah, I know you checked it out. I got to tell you, honestly, I was excited to see it. I was excited to see him swing.
There's no way you can't be excited to see him swing. And what I liked was the conversation, which we should continue on right now. Can he win? Will he win? When will he win?
Yes, and probably once he starts playing again after a little while and gets, one of the things that's probably going to be as challenging as anything, Pearl, is going to be his stamina because he's got to walk.
Oh, absolutely. I wanted to point that out, and we've talked about it before. Most folks don't realize what it takes to play, tournament after tournament, even when you're just playing a couple in a row type of stuff. Practice rounds, walking. How many miles are you walking during a round of a golf?
Somewhere between 8 and 10, depending on the course.
So you're doing that.
And how crooked I'm hitting my tee shot, because it's a lot less if you hit it straight.
I wasn't gonna bring that out. Well, it's also harder when you're walking through the heather and the trees
exactly
down the middle.
Exactly. Sometimes that pine straw is slippery.
When I don't get that bag lined up just right,
you could go down anywhere. You could go down. Oh, man. I remember one time, Pearlie's Pearlie walks, and he has got like a gear. I can walk probably faster than anybody else on tour. Pearlie can lap all of us. He's like a hound dog on a bone.
He's on a mission.
He's got his like a little forward tilt, and man, the guy can just haul ass. And I can remember one of the things that is just such a pet peeve when you're playing on the tours, you're fouling off, you hit it in the woods, and you're walking that way, and the marshal looks at it and he goes, "Oh, you're gonna hate this." And I'm like, oh, so
thanks.
I look over at John one time, and he won't even answer me. I'm like, "It's that bad, huh?" And he's like, "Yeah, we got nothing over here." But oh my gosh, but yeah, so that's a big deal. And his golf swing still looks so. He didn't have a lot of speed, and he wasn't going at it like he would in a tournament more than likely. But it was really good to see him back.
What have you heard, Jay? Any specifics? Or I'm sure he's keeping that very close to the vest as far as the right leg that had the sleeve on it. And anybody can go on and Google Tiger Woods comeback swing, whatever, and it'll pop up. But he's got black sleeve that he's got on his right leg. I'm not sure if that's what made the leg look even more atrophied, or maybe it's in that bad a shape at this point. And who knows to what level it can recover. I'm sure if it can recover, it will. But so he'll just have to learn to play a little bit different game. But he's done that with other wins, hasn't he?
Oh, my gosh, Pearl, it reminds me of, in a weird kind of serendipitous thing. Our dads passed away on the same day. And I can remember I was talking to John Cook and Mark O'Meara, and they were, they were sending their condolences and stuff, and we were up at Wingfoot playing in the U.S. Open in 2008. And that was Tiger's first event back since his dad died. And they said, you should just, write him a note, put it in his locker, And so I said, really? And they said, yeah, it'd be cool, and he'd appreciate that. He never checked his locker the whole week. He never even went into the locker room that whole week, I guess, at Wingfoot. And he missed the cut and was out of there in a heartbeat. So it's interesting because then he comes back, Pearl. The first win after his dad died was the British Open that year. And he only hit one driver the entire week, one driver. And I said to myself, if this guy didn't have to deal with the ego of, how far he can hit it, and maybe ego's the wrong word, Pearl, but just that temptation. Because the farther you get away from the putter, the wilder he hits it, right? But if he's got that ball on the ground, with a 2-iron or something and the stingers and all that, really super, super tough to beat. Same with his 3-wood. So I could envision him rebooting his entire mentality and figuring out another way.
Well, we've talked about this. His head is the best part of his game, and his pitching and putting is the best physical part of the game. So at the end of the day, if he's lost, I don't know what it'll be, 5, 10, 15 miles an hour speed, I personally don't know how much it's going to matter. Now, can you be dominant? Well, not if you're not hitting it a little bit further and things like that. But I don't think dominance is what, well, who knows? He might be thinking about that, knowing the way or understanding the way he thinks. But I just think the fact that he can be competitive, I think absolutely. I think as we know, he can be competitive on one leg, for crying out loud. So what's the difference here? Because of his pitching, his chipping, and his mental approach, he's going to be in the game. And is that going to make this next year exciting or what?
Oh, my gosh. I mean, think about it. So Augusta is how far off? 6 months off? 5 in April. No, it's April. So it's, oh, man. Yeah, so it's about 5 months, almost 6 months off. It's still another half a year. I mean, I guarantee you that's circled on his calendar. There is no way in hell it's not.
Well, and big picture stuff that you and I talk about all the time. The other thing is, I can remember when this accident happened and, how sad it was. And I had made the statement, and I'll make it again, that I think the saddest part of the whole accident would be if he could never play with his son, Charlie, again. It was so fun to see them playing that father-son. You could see the camaraderie, the connection that they have. So at least that's behind him. So as far as I'm concerned, whether the guy wins or not or ever plays another round on the tour, another hole on the tour, I think, he's going to be able to play with his son play with him. And he looked pretty dang healthy the rest of it. So hopefully he works on some good decisions and not having some bad breaks, and we get to see a lot of him in the next years to come.
Yeah, and I can imagine he's playing with his son, and his son's asking for shots. He's probably like, hell no, let's go. This thing is on.
Well, if he's half as competitive with his son as anybody else, which my guess is he would. I know my father, no matter what, never wanted me to beat him at anything, and that's part of the whole deal, I think. So I'm sure they've got some fun games there. I know Tiger, when he played with his son and that father-son stuff, he said, "Yeah, Charlie can chirp. Charlie can chirp with the best of them." So anyway, good news there. Great news there, and to be continued, I guess.
Yeah, no doubt about it. It's amazing, John, when you start thinking about that Q rating and what the tour put together for that. I think it's kind of that ridiculous $40 million pot for the most relevant social media guys. How do you think just skew the one for next year? I mean, Tiger sticks his head out the window. He's got to get more views and more likes and more whatever than reactions and, all the other guys put together. Not even close.
Not even close.
No, not even close. Well, that's going to wrap up the front nine, but the tip of the cap segment. The tip of the cap is brought to you by the Dean team of Kirkwood. Call my buddy Colin, 314-966-0303. for any sort of your automobile needs. My tip of the cap this week goes to all of the trainers, all of the certified fitness instructors, the TPI guys, my buddy Nolan Rapp, who helped me with SSM Health and Physical Therapy with my knee. He was awesome. He had a great attitude. He was so knowledgeable. We got to hit balls on the K-Vest and all sorts of different things like that. There are men and women out there, folks, that in the middle of winter, if you're hurting from a surgery or you're just trying to recover from a pulled muscle, those men and women do a great job. And it made me think of that with Tiger. And he had to log hours and hours and hours with somebody, and it is not fun. I mean, depending on what sort of rehab you had to do, rehab could be renamed hell. So the tip of the cap, it's brought to you by my buddy Colin Burnt at the Dean Team of Kirkwood, 314-966-0303. Come back for more Golf with Jay Delsing.
This is Paul Lazinger, and you're listening to Golf with Jay Delsing.
I want to thank the Gateway section of the PGA of America for supporting the Golf with Jay Delsing show. There are over 300 men and women PGA professionals at over 100 golf facilities in the greater St. Louis area supporting us. They're experts in the game. They know the business of golf. And at this point in time, this pandemic, the golf courses are jammed. These folks are working 10, 12-hour days and just doing great stuff, and really appreciate them. Every time you pull up to a public course or a private course, a driving range, there's a really good chance that facility is run by a member of our section. Some of the examples of the programs that are run by these PGA professionals and the Gateway PGA section include PGA Reach, Drive, Chip and Putt, PGA Hope, and the PGA Junior League. To learn more about the Gateway PGA, go to gatewaypga.org. To find a local PGA professional coach for your next session, go to PGA.com. The PGA, growing this game we love.
Marcone Appliance Parts Company needs to recognize the sponsors, staff, and volunteers who made the inaugural Ascension Charity Classic in St. Louis a huge success. Without the tireless effort of hundreds of dedicated people this past year, this PGA Champions Tour event could not have achieved the success it did. The winner in golf is the person with the lowest score. But the big winner of this event is the people and communities of need in the St. Louis area and the tremendous boost to the St. Louis economy as a whole. Well played by everyone who put in the time to make this a wonderful event. It's great to live in your community. Marcone Appliance Parts Company is based in St. Louis, Missouri, and is the largest distributor of major appliance parts in North America and a proud distributor of General Electric parts.
I am delighted to welcome Marie Davila to the Golf with Jay Delsing show. I'm sure you know where it is, but in case you don't, Marie Davila is a landmark out in West St. Louis County. It's located on the corner of Clayton and Weidman Roads. It's also on 21 beautiful rolling acres right on the way out to Queenie Park. It's a country club-like atmosphere. It's iconic, and it's absolutely gorgeous. When my dad died and my mom decided she didn't want to live alone, Marie Davila was the first place we called. When we pulled up, we were greeted at the front door by the owner. He took us around on a tour of the facility. We learned that there are 1, 2, and 3-bedroom villas that you can live in, and there's also 24-hour care in the East, West, and the Waterford buildings. So Marie Davila had everything that my mom wanted. One of the things that stood out in my mind as well was the way the family-owned business treats their guests. That's right, they refer to them as guests, but they treat them like family. So if you're in the process of trying to make a tough decision for this next part of life, you got to visit Marie Davila. This is local, this is family, and this is St. Louis. This is Marie Davila. Come be our guest.
Thank you, St. Louis, for making the first annual Ascension Charity Classic presented by Emerson a record-breaking success. The golf was incredible, your enthusiasm unmatched, and the only thing that will last longer than the memories is the impact you've made on North St. Louis County charities. To our sponsors, volunteers, and fans, thank you for welcoming golf's greatest legends and bringing professional golf back to St. Louis with record attendance. See you next year at the Ascension Charity Classic.
I want to give a shout out to my friend Colin Burnt over at the Dean Team of Kirkwood. Folks, if you're looking for any sort of vehicle, I know it says Volkswagen of Kirkwood. Colin has a parking lot full of new and used cars. I was just over there the other day. I bought a used VW Passat for my daughter, Jo, who just totaled it in an accident. She texted me, by the way, and said, Dad, I tapped a car in front of me. She tapped it so well that the car's totaled. Anyway, I talked to Colin, and he is working out a new vehicle for us. But we went over and looked. There is a huge selection of cars over there. My buddy Perley that does the show with me had bought a used Toyota truck from Colin and just loved the service and loved the vehicle. 314-966-0303. This is like dealing with family over there. These are great people. Colin's there. His right-hand person, Brandy, is there to do anything they can to get you in the vehicle you want. Give them a call today. Hi, Jay Delsing here for SSM Health Physical Therapy. Our golf program has the same screening techniques and technology as the pros on the PGA Tour use. That's right. SSM Health Physical Therapy has TPI, Titleist Performance Institute, trained physical therapists that can perform the TPI screen on you, as well as use the K-Vest 3D motion capture system. It is awesome. Proper posture and alignment can help you keep it right down the middle. There's 80 locations in the St. Louis area. Call them at 800-518-1626 or visit them on the web at ssmphysicaltherapy.com. Your therapy, our passion.
Powers Insurance and Risk Management is sponsoring a VIP St. Louis Blues game experience for 2 lucky winners. Enter to win a front row seat right behind the visitors bench and join Jay Delsing and Tim Davis from Powers Insurance as you take in all the action while the Blues host the Calgary Flames. All you have to do to enter, just go to powersinsurance.com/Go Blues. The winner will be announced on January 9th. Powers Insurance is a family-owned agency here in St. Louis that specializes in robust insurance policies designed to provide coverage that's tailored to your personal needs.
Hey, I know you've heard a lot about club fitting, but I need you to go visit my friends at Pro-Am Golf. They're a family-owned and operated golf discount shop in St. Louis that's been operating for over 40 years. They have a top quality fitter in CJ over there and a very qualified staff with the most up-to-date, state-of-the-art technology in the industry at all. They've got a really cool ball program coming that will help you fit your swing speed to the right ball. But most importantly, they have the lowest prices in town on this fitting. And you know what's really special? They take the price of the fitting and roll it into the new clubs that you purchase over there. So basically, the fitting costs you nothing. Visit Tom DeGrand. He's been in the business for over 40 years and a great guy. And they'll watch you hit balls in their simulator. So stop by and ask for the Delsing discount, and they'll give you even more money off their already low price. That's Pro-Am Golf, a family-owned business here in St. Louis.
Grab your clubs. We're headed to the front 9 on Golf with Jay Delsing.
The Front 9 is brought to you by the Ascension Charity Classic.
Hey, welcome back. This is Golf with Jay Delsing. I'm Jay. Pearlie's with me, and Brad Barnes-Mead. He's taking good care of us here at the ESPN studios, and we are headed to the front 9. It's brought to you by the Ascension Charity Classic. Man, our date's not out yet. I know when it is. I'm not allowed to say. It's going to be somewhere around the same time in September. Beautiful weather in St. Louis. Great field. PGA Tour champions. Got to come out and check us out. It is really going to be something special. Year 2 is going to be better than year 1. All right, Pearl. I got to, in the break we were talking, let's give this, what Tiger Woods is going through, give it some context. Give the listeners an idea of a couple of other things they can kind of compare this to. What's up?
Well, I mean, one that's the most obvious that just popped in the head is Ben Hogan with his car accident. And never going to play again, can't walk, can't swing, can't do whatever. And obviously, made history after the accident. So, again, it's not fair to compare because the severity of the injuries, et cetera, but it wouldn't overly surprise me if something similar. I mean, obviously Tiger's life and Tiger's career is more than book worthy and movie worthy and everything else. And here we go again.
When you think about these sort of guys, the Ben Hogans, the Tiger Woods of the world, these guys that have come back from these, almost life-threatening injuries, certainly life-threatening situations. They thought Hogan, in head-on collision was dead. There's something about those challenges and those things that those guys put goals and set things in their mind, and they go after them with such relentless energy and tireless effort that it's pretty special.
Well, you just wonder, when Tiger's accomplished everything, Hogan accomplished pretty much everything, what's going to motivate them? The last thing in the world you would wish on either one of those guys was the accidents that they had, but it almost reset themselves, gave them another sense of purpose, another all that. And I don't know if that's too Hollywood and cornball, but that's something that's run through my head with the Tiger thing. Is, again, how far can I come back? What can I do from here? How can I beat the odds? How can I do, you and I have joked about it, but also it's true. How many times have we counted this guy out? I mean,
how many shows do we have?
Yeah, at least a half a dozen times for me through the years, anywhere from when he first came on, et cetera, et cetera. And so, yeah, hopefully that's let's put it this way. Hopefully that's what it's done for him.
Yep.
Is giving him another sense of purpose, another charge, another mountain to climb, and who knows? Who absolutely knows?
All right, so Pearl, over in Dubai, a little man named Colin Morikawa just becomes the first American, rewriting more of the record books, becomes the first American to win the Race to Dubai, the season-long series over there. Rory has a really brutal Sunday and kind of implodes, kind of tears his shirt off his body, which is kind of an odd thing. I don't know if you saw that, but I was like, what? And but the first American to do this, Pearl, does this guy get his due? I mean, yeah. I see pictures of him wheeling his luggage through an airport. Nobody knows who he is. He's won 2 majors in his first 2 years on the PGA Tour. He's just, solid as can be. I'll go ahead and say this. He's the best iron player I think I've seen since Tiger.
Well, I don't know if he gets his due. I think a lot of it has to do with the side stories with a lot of these guys. And he seems to be just solid, low-key, goes about his business. So there's no extra fanfare. I think you keep winning like he's winning. And by the way, I didn't know he was the first American to win that. That's not the tournament. You're talking about the whole race?
Yeah, because he won the British Open this year. He did. He accumulated more points than anyone else.
That's awesome. But anyway, he's obviously spectacular. He's got such a mentality. And when I hear you guys like you, Azinger on the tube, the other guys on TV, everybody that seems to be around him just says his iron game, and obviously it's good on TV. I'll tell you, some of the iron shots he hit coming down the Ryder Cup this year were just unbelievable. That 17th hole, for example.
I was thinking the same thing.
That's a place where you have to have unbelievable confidence and have an unbelievable swing on top of it to even hit the shots that those guys are hitting. And he's just sitting there acting like it's a little knockdown 9-iron. And I think they were hitting 4s and 5-irons, for crying out loud. I would have been hitting 3-wood. But it's awesome. So I don't know, Jay, maybe the major fanfare is not going to be there until he wins a couple more times. But the golf world knows who he is.
Yeah, they sure do. I got a really cool announcement. A local St. Louis company, Rapsodo, is joining the Golf with Jay Delsing show after the next week, in fact. They've got so first of all, let's talk about what this thing is. It's a diagnostic tool, Pearl. It's a little bit bigger than your cell phone, and it checks spin rates, launch angles, and it just measures. It's portable, it's accurate, and now it's super affordable. Between November 24th and December 1st, they're calling it their Black Friday sale. $150 off the price, and it's $499. So I've got one of these things. It is spectacular. You set this up behind you when you swing. It measures and shows you the flight of the ball. It shows you the spin, how much curve it's got on it. It is really super cool. They also now have a version of this that's morphed into the Major League Baseball. And all 30 MLB teams are using it with their pitchers and their spin rates. They're also using it with the batters and their launch angles. So, guys are trying to launch this thing high so they can hit all these home runs. So, Rapsodo, guys, you got to check this out. You got to go to rapsodo.com, Rapsodo Golf, and check out this little device. It is super, super cool. And when you start thinking about it, John, we have been trying to encourage people, don't sit on the couch all year. Quit drinking another beer. Go hit some balls. Go to the gym. Do something that'll help you physically. Well, Pearl, you can go, and I don't know how many people have said to me, Delsing, I can't stand practicing in the mat because I can't see where the ball goes. Well, guess what? You don't have that excuse now. You get this Rapsodo, and you make this swing. The ball gets stuck in the net, for sure, but you turn back to the screen and chase your shot. It's very cool.
This thing sounds absolutely fantastic. Hey, Meat, have you got one of these, or is it just Jay?
Yeah, I haven't gotten one yet. I'm still waiting on my delivery for mine.
You know what?
I've been traveling a lot, but I haven't seen one either. So I don't know how we can really talk about it or promote it if we're not.
I think the sniper guy,
Jay,
wasn't the sniper golf ball guy supposed to hook you guys?
Oh, yeah, he hooked me. Yeah.
Oh, he hooked me up. Oh, don't tell.
Oh, my bad.
So he didn't. That was last year, too.
Yeah,
that didn't matter.
That's a good point, you guys, because I don't have any golf balls to use the Rapsodo with anyway, so what the heck's the difference?
Pearl, that's where you start working on your mental game a little bit. You just start treating
just visualize
the balls
swing.
and visualize them out there and go, oh, man, that felt so good.
Can the Rapsodo track my mental shots?
If you let it.
I don't think there's anything capable of that.
No, we don't want to even talk about that. The screen will go black.
Oh, boy, I'll tell you, I appreciate you guys having my back.
We got your back, man.
I'm glad that while I'm gone, everything's being taken care of for
Exactly. When you're not on, Pearl, we are not. We are missing you, and it is sweet, Pearly, this and that. Where is he?
Yeah,
and
we've had enough time to get used to it, so you know.
Yeah. Woo! Meets a little shot at Pearly. Anyway, the Rapsodo is cool stuff, and you got to check it out. And these guys are a St. Louis company. They're doing great stuff across a bunch of different the major sports leagues and teams. So check out that Rapsodo. That's going to wrap up the front nine. Don't go anywhere. There'll be more Jay and John on the back nine. This is Golf with Jay Delsing.
Hi, this is Peter Jacobson, and you're listening to Golf with Jay Delsing.
Our Gateway PGA section spotlight is shining a little light on the cool programs that our section is involved in. First of all, PGA Reach. They are raising money serving military and diversity inclusion pillars. The PGA Reach is just committed to positively impacting as many lives as possible. Another one of the 501c3 foundation that is evolved around the PGA of America. Drive, Chip, and Putt is a championship. It's a skills championship. It's free to boys and girls ages 7 to 15. It's such a cool program. Then you got the PGA Junior Golf Camps, where they're just growing the game, getting people out playing the game, young guys, old guys, whatever the case may be. If you haven't played, they're getting you out swinging the club. It's just terrific. And that is happening right here in St. Louis. Our guys, our gals are doing that for the game. So support your local PGA section.
We're halfway there. It's time for the Back Nine on Golf with Jay Delsing.
The Back Nine is brought to you by Pro-Am Golf.
All right, welcome back. This is Golf with Jay Delsing. I'm Jay. Pearlie's with me, and we are headed to the Back Nine, which is brought to you by Pro-Am Golf. Guys, locally owned, family owned. These guys are fantastic. They offer a terrific deal with getting fitted. I am in the queue. I'm getting fitted. I'm going to go over and talk to CJ, and I've already set up an appointment. He used to be with the lead fitter at Family Golf Centers. Now he's over at Pro-Am Golf, and he is as knowledgeable and as good as anyone you'll ever find. Once you talk about price, he'll give you a little Delsing discount, a little more help, and they'll roll the price of this fitting into the set of the club. So basically, the fittings onto the Grand and Pro-Am Golf. So call them at 314-647-8054 or visit them at proamgolfusa.com. All right, so Pearl, we talked about the Rapsodo. That was kind of like a cool continuation of some of the newer things that have come into the game, from the statistical categories to the metrics to all the different fashion stuff we talked about and the gear stuff we talked about. Now I want to talk about something we probably should talk more about, but we don't. Let's talk about tracks. Good golf courses, bad golf courses. We've got a list of some hidden gems that are cool. One of my favorite courses is on that list of hidden gems. But, John, one of the things that is so cool about what happened to us, you had a year of college under your belt at University of Florida while I was still in high school, but then going out to California and playing the golf courses that we played at UCLA on a weekly revolving basis were just incredible. We're just incredible. First of all, Bel Air Country Club, which we got to play on Mondays and Fridays, is still in my top 5 fun courses to play, best courses to play around the globe.
Well, how can it be? And you and I don't know if you've played it. I haven't played it since all the alterations to it, which I heard is still fantastic. It's an absolute blast. And I think, just from my perspective, as we get into this conversation, one thing to just share with folks that haven't traveled a lot and done it, there are so many great golf courses in the world. It's scary. St. Louis is loaded with them. Chicago is absolutely loaded with them. New York is loaded with them. LA loaded with them. So it's easy to get caught up in the big branded names and that kind of thing. But man, there are so many great golf courses, and plenty of them are as good or better than the ones that are called out to be the best. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, there's stuff all around that I can just remember, John, the first time I played Bel Air, I was thinking, how am I going to do this? You know, those elevated tees, those small greens. The greens were rolling at like a 12 or 13 back in the day, and it was brutal. But then we got to go practice over at LA North. You know, we played Brentwood. We played Riviera on Thursday. I mean, how about playing Riviera? Remember the first time you saw the Kikuyu grass? I'm like, what is this stuff? The ball just would not roll through it.
To just go from Bel Air to Riviera, which isn't very far, to LA North, which isn't very far from either one of those, there's a great example on 3 very different golf courses, but 3 very challenging golf courses, 3 courses that you couldn't play enough to get tired of them. They were just absolutely fantastic. And Riviera could get a little sketchy from the seasonality of conditioning, but the other 2, at least when I played them, were good to superb. Just fantastic places. And Bel Air was such a treat in so many ways to us.
Yeah, and then, Pearl, going up and down the coast of California in the vans, playing in tournaments and things like that, going to San Diego, playing Torrey Pines for the first time, going up to Santa Barbara, playing Sandpiper. That Sandpiper should be on that list of courses that nobody's heard of. It's a public facility. It's on the coast, and it's a blast to play. It is really, really a good course.
Well, the other thing about Sandpiper, more so than the others you mentioned, obviously Torrey can get it similar, but Sandpiper, depending on the wind, could absolutely beat you to death, and where you think I could never play golf again, or if the conditions are decent. I can remember I played the tournament there. I went out the first day and the winds were favorable, whatever that meant at the time, I don't remember. But, went and kind of breezed around a couple under like no big deal. Get out the next day and I'm playing kind of late afternoon and the wind's blowing 20, 30 miles an hour, apparently in the wrong direction. I don't care how well I played. I wasn't going to break 75, 76. Wasn't going to happen. And it's and that can happen a lot out there too. But that was just a gorgeous place. We'll keep on going up the coast. So what's up the coast from there?
Yeah, no. So I can remember. Obviously you got Pebble, but up in Pebble you've got San Francisco Golf, which is another Alistair McKenzie. John, one of the we'll just go ahead and talk about it now. One of my favorite hidden gems I tell people all the time is Paso Tiempo. Remember, we played the Far West Intercollegiate up there every year, and that golf course was just unbelievable. The 18th hole is a par 3, and that was such a really fun golf course to play. Then going up into Oregon, we played some of those courses. The fairways were like bowling alleys with pine trees lined up, which I had a little bit of a struggle with.
Well, wait a second. There are more courses around San Francisco: Lake Merced, Olympic Club, San Francisco Club.
Yep.
I mean, and then before that, backing up even further, more down in the peninsula, Fort Ord, Bayonet course. I'm not sure. I think it was the Bayonet. I know they've got a couple there. There's the one golf course there. There's virtually no OB or water, none of that hazardy type of stuff. Yet it's one of the hardest golf courses you're ever going to play. Same thing again. You might get a little bit of breeze. The air is so heavy down there. The ball doesn't go anywhere. And I remember the one year, I think I was playing the year that there was the earthquake during the tour qualifying, and it shook the balls off the green. So if it wasn't hard enough just to play the golf course, we were dealing with that.
John, that was before they cut the trees back. Remember when the trees were low, and if you hit a ball that ran more than 8 yards into the rough, you were pitching out because you're underneath a 40-foot pine tree with the low-lying limbs.
Well, I think before they even did it to the degree that you and I played it, I want to say it was Craig Stadler had the record there at 73. And again, the reason is because of the rough and the pine trees that came down to the ground. I mean, you're just dropping out, unless you kneeled on a towel, and that's another story. But
right. But I mean, you just think about the different golf courses. I can remember, John, when I went to play in the Northeast Amateur, so other coast now. We go over to New York. Westchester County is a phenomenal, maybe my favorite place to go. But we were in Rhode Island, and I played Wannamoisett. And the par was 69 on this course. And I'll never forget, I got to play with the great Bobby Orr. And it was just such a cool round of golf. And the golf course was just fantastic. Old school. I'd never heard of it. Who had heard of it? And there's stuff like that all over the place, John. And then you could go into, and you could say this about the Monterey Peninsula too. You could go out into the Monterey Peninsula. You could go into Westchester County. You could go into Chicago, and you could go for 3 weeks, guys. Play a different course every day. 95% of these courses you've never heard of, and go, oh, hell, this one's better than the one I played last time. And
no question.
You could go to Chicago, play Chicago Golf and North Shore and Skokie and all of these great places. And the funny thing is, John, you go back through the history of golf, a lot of these tracks have hosted major championships.
Yep.
It's just unbelievable. And so
there's just a name game and a branding that goes on these days, but it's fun that there's that many great golf courses. I'm not sure, Jay. I haven't had the exposure on the East Coast like you have. But is there another city in the country that has more good golf courses than Chicago?
Oh boy, well, Chicago is such a big city. I mean, if you wanted to say New York City would rival it, because you'd get Westchester County up there, because Westchester County involves, which is just on the other, Baltusrol, upper and lower, just on the other side in New Jersey, but it's literally 20-minute ride. But you have Wingfoot, which is east and west, which are both courses have held a major championship on. You get Quaker Ridge right across the street. You get the Westchester Country Club, which is got 36 holes on it. You've got Canoe Brook. You've got Century, Old Oak, places no one's ever heard of. You go on, they're just massively huge, beautiful trees and just fun, awesome golf experiences. It's on. Chicago's special, though, to me, John, with that. It's really special. You got Chicago Golf, which is one of the best courses you'll ever play that no one's ever talks about. because it's
I've never played it. I've heard of it, but I haven't played it. I have played bobolink with your brother-in-law.
Yep.
And Butler, Jay, ranks in the upper, certainly top 10 for me, maybe top 5 for me of all time. Just, again, straightforward, great golf courses. At least my experience there, that's the experience I had. It was just a blast. If you hit a good shot, you got rewarded, and if you didn't,
it just beat you to death.
Beat the daylights out of you.
Pearl, you played Augusta, and I haven't. Give us a little love on that.
Well, Augusta was phenomenal, obviously, and there's another example. It's got the history, so I mean, it's hard to play Augusta without having the history, right? Without remembering all the great shots that you've seen. I played Sage Valley the day before, which is just outside Augusta, and the story goes that a gentleman built it that couldn't get on Augusta, which apparently isn't the true story, but he built his own course, and it's absolutely spectacular. I mean, it rivals anything, but the thing you can't beat with Augusta, and it is a wonderful golf course. It's a great golf course, and it has a great rhythm for golf tournaments. But again, you're on hallowed ground, so it's hard not to put it in the one or two, top category ever. Every shot out there was fun and beautiful and historic. Hard not to gush about that place for sure.
All right, so Pearl, as we wrap up this segment, what is your favorite course you've ever played?
You go first.
Pebble.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't know.
Something about Pebble because they change it so dramatically when the wind blows and it doesn't blow, and it'll blow half the time, and there's just something about it. And I think you hit the nail on the head. It's the history. It's the things that have happened there before. It's Jack hitting the flagstick with his 1-iron on 17. It's all those sort of things. Watson chipping in.
I don't think because the water, the ocean holes at Pebble, obviously, particularly coming down the pipe, 16 green and 17 green and 18th hole. I don't know how there's anything better than that. It gives me a little bit of emotion just thinking about that, and a couple of the fond memories that I've had. But just playing it, standing out there, like you said, with remembering some of the other great shots and how gorgeous it is. And Jay, I played Pebble one time. We didn't see the ocean all day. That's how foggy it was.
So,
and I caddied for you when you had to hit, no matter which way you shaped the ball. If you didn't start at 20 yards minimum into the ocean, it was going to go out of bounds to the right.
Yep.
So, to your point, that's where it might be hard for me to say if it's my favorite course, because it's different every single time you walk out there,
right?
Except for the beauty, unless the fog just completely rolls in.
So, John, can you quickly compare and contrast what you felt being at Pebble compared to what you felt being at Augusta? In terms of like the history and because there's that energy, right? There's that vibe, that feeling like,
that's
man.
What I would say they both had it, and so I don't think I can say different. I also, if you compare, especially Augusta National's clubhouse, you're not going to compare that to anything today, because everything today is built, like Taj Mahal's. And the beauty of Augusta National is the history, the fact that the clubhouse, and sorry for my history, hasn't changed for 100 years or whatever the heck it is. They just keep painting it white and green. Yet everything's just kind of perfect about it. Same with Pebble. Pebble is beautiful, but in general, it's not the Taj Mahal. It's just the tradition behind it.
Right.
And it's more so than the Masters, than Augusta National. But I think that's where they compare, is just such great history through the years. And you and I growing up watching the events, it's hard to be involved with either one of those places and not just have all kinds of emotion.
That's how we're wrapping up the back nine. Don't go anywhere. We got Michelob Ultra 19th hole. Golf with Jay Delsing.
Hi, this is Bob Costas, and you're listening to Golf with Jay Delsing.
I'm with my buddy Joe Sheezer from USA Mortgage.
Hi, Jay. How are you?
Doing great, Joe. Thanks so much for the support of the show.
I really appreciate the opportunity. Congratulations. This is your third year, and we're really proud to be a sponsor all 3 years since the very beginning. It's a great show, and we look forward to it every Sunday morning.
Well, thanks a bunch. Tell us just a little bit about USA Mortgage and what you can do for people.
Well, USA Mortgage is a ESOP. It's an employee-owned company. So over 1,000 families here in St. Louis work for the company. So if you want an opportunity to patronize a local company, please call USA Mortgage 314-628-2015, and I'll be more than happy to sit down with you, go over your options, discuss all the different programs that are available, and give you an opportunity to support a local company.
Marcone Appliance Parts Company needs to recognize the sponsors, staff, and volunteers who made the inaugural Ascension Charity Classic in St. Louis a huge success. Without the tireless effort of hundreds of dedicated people this past year, this PGA Champions Tour event could not have achieved the success it did. The winner in golf is the person with the lowest score. But the big winner of this event is the people and communities of need in the St. Louis area and the tremendous boost to the St. Louis economy as a whole. Well played by everyone who put in the time to make this a wonderful event. It's great to live in your community. Marcone Appliance Parts Company is based in St. Louis, Missouri, and is the largest distributor of major appliance parts in North America and a proud distributor of General Electric parts.
Hey, guys, I know you've heard golf is booming, and it really is. There are more people playing golf today than ever before. And you know who else is doing great? My friends at Whitmore Country Club. I don't know if you know about their membership, but if you join at Whitmore Country Club, there's 90 holes. They give you access to the Links of Dardenne, the Golf Club of Wentzville, and the Missouri Bluffs. And the cart fees are included in the membership, so you're not going to get dinged for a cart fee. There's no food or beverage minimums, no assessments, no nothing. Just great golf, great places to eat. They have a large pool complex, 3 tennis courts. They've got a kids club. You can drop your children off. You and your significant other, your wife, can go out, play a little golf. You can call them at 636-926-9622. And when you go over there, poke your head in the golf shop and say hi to my friend Bummer. He is terrific. He wants to help you with your game, and he'll show you around.
Thank you, St. Louis, for making the first annual Ascension Charity Classic presented by Emerson a record-breaking success. The golf was incredible, your enthusiasm unmatched, and the only thing that will last longer than the memories is the impact you've made on North St. Louis County charities. To our sponsors, volunteers, and fans, thank you for welcoming golf's greatest legends and bringing professional golf back to St. Louis with record attendance. See you next year at the Ascension Charity Classic.
Hey, Jay Delsing here for SSM Health Physical Therapy. Do you want to have a more consistent golf swing? Hell, I know I sure do. SSM Health Physical Therapy's golf program has Titleist Performance Institute certified physical therapists trained to assess your movement patterns, your mobility, and your stability to help make your golf swing more efficient and repeatable. They can help your golf game. There's 80 locations in the St. Louis area. 800-518-1626 or visit them on the web at ssmphysicaltherapy.com. Tell them Jay sent you for special pricing. Your therapy, our passion.
This is Bill DeWitt III, president of the St. Louis Cardinals, and you're talking to Jay Delsing. And wait, sorry, what's the name of the show?
Golf with Jay Delsing.
Oh, all right, let me start it.
If you have a car and you're struggling to get some protection for that car, let me recommend Vehicle Assurance. 1-866-341-9255 is their number. They have been in business for over 10 years and have a 30-day money-back guarantee, which is one of the reasons why they have over 1 million satisfied customers. They are known for their painless claims process and their premium vehicle protection. So whatever that car looks like, they can help you. You can find them at vehicleassurance.com or call them again at 866-341-9255 for a free quote. Get the protection and the peace of mind you deserve.
Grab your friends, a cold one, and pull up a chair. We're on to the 19th hole on golf with Jay Delsing.
The 19th hole is refreshed by Michelob Ultra.
Man, hey, good morning, and welcome back. This is Golf with Jay Delsing. I'm your host, Jay. I got Perley with me, and we are headed to the 19th hole. Not mad about the 19th hole. It's brought to you by our friends down at Anheuser-Busch and Michelob Ultra. Boy. All right, Pearl, pop the Ultra, and let's take a look at this. We have found an article that talks about the 20 greatest courses that you never heard of.
Well, and I think to reiterate from our last segment, Jay, beauty's in the eye of the beholder as well on this kind of stuff. And in the different conditions and the history that these places have say a lot about it. But I'm going to just kind of rapid fire them at you. And then let's talk about if either one of us or both of us have played it before. Seminole. What do you know?
Oh, yeah. I played Seminole a half a dozen times. It's great. You could drive by the entrance of Seminole. This is what I love about it. It's so understated. You can drive by the entrance of Seminole 100 times and never know it's there. And they bought some extra property. I've heard they lengthened the 18th hole. They had that match with Ricky Fowler and DJ. All the TaylorMade guys got together and raised a bunch of money. Yeah, Seminole's just awesome.
What stood out about the golf course that you liked or didn't like, Jay?
You know what, John? If the wind doesn't blow, it's not overly tough. It's certainly not long. It's more.
Well, that's the golf courses that are built for the wind. Pebble, like we talked about, the English courses, something like that. If the wind doesn't blow, that's half or more of the defenses. So you're going to get a very different experience. Yep. Okay, Seminole. Next one, I'm not even going to know how to say this. Ballyneal.
Ballyneal. I played it. It's you fly into Denver and you drive 2.5 hours to this place, and you feel like you've just gone ahead and just bought the farm out there. You can't see anything. They got on-site dorms, and I shouldn't call them dorms. My gosh, there's nice, really super nice cottages. The golf course is a beast. It's huge. It's a long, tough walk up and down. The terrain is, oh, man, brutal. But the caddies were fantastic. I did some entertaining out there. It was just fantastic. I just loved it.
Now, is that attached with Sand Hills, Jay, or is that two different things?
No, two different. Sand Hills is in Nebraska. This is outside of Denver.
You got it. Okay, Next one. Sand Valley, the sandbox.
So I've heard about this. I've not seen it. It's relatively new. It's in Wisconsin, I think, somewhere, Pearl, and it's
in northern central Wisconsin. I've been there with a friend, and it is spectacular. Same thing. You're driving up to it. You're going like, well, what is this? And then there's a couple of sand dunes with some grass sticking out of the sand, and you're thinking, well, whatever. Then you come up in these buildings that are clearly nice, but not overly stand out very much, which is their purpose, to make them hide into the background. Then you walk through the clubhouse area, grab a beer, sit in the back on the patio, and you're looking over like a kingdom, a golf kingdom, and watching people play golf. They've got their caddies, a couple other guys smoking a cigar, having another beer on the back in front of the fireplaces. Same type of thing. If you're any kind of a golf nut at all, that your golf juices just come alive, and you're like, I got to go do this. Great place, and again, very much. We played a couple of really good golf courses right near it, and drive 20 minutes to this place, and definitely want to go there. But as our argument was earlier in the show, great golf courses right around it that nobody's heard about.
Yeah, absolutely.
Next one here, one of the best golf courses in France. So I'm definitely not going to say this one. Les Bordes.
Yeah, Les Bordes. I've never heard of it. I've actually never hit a golf ball in France. I've actually never been to France.
I've hit a golf ball in France. I played a couple times, and it was fantastic playing in France, but I did not play this golf course. I did play some good ones, but as I can't pronounce this one, I can't remember the other one. So let's move on to the next one.
Let's do it.
Casa Tiempo. You already talked about that a little bit. Hey, one thing I want to remember about Casa Tiempo, Jay, isn't that our first experience, and isn't that the first golf tournament that ESPN ever covered?
Yeah, it is. I think it was. It was like 1980, I think. Wasn't it, Pearl, or 81? It was 80 or 81, I think.
Yep, something in that ballpark. And so, yeah, I can remember you got to walk again. You got to get the golf bag in line. Otherwise, if you have it hanging off your hip, it's going to catch onto a tree.
Oh, there's no doubt. John, we didn't even mention Cypress Point, which is one of my favorites that we played. All the other badass courses up in the Monterey Peninsula. Just terrific. Just love it.
Well, that's one thing we do want to mention, because I forgot it. When you said best golf courses, asked me the best course earlier in the show. All that was going to my head, Jay, was 15 and 16 at Cypress Point. The back-to-back par threes, I believe. Correct, if I have that right?
100%. And the 15 is only 150 yards with the most diabolical little green. And then you get to 16, and the wind's blowing any sort of – and you just can't breathe on that tee. is unbelievable.
That 15 and 16 were absolutely spectacular, and I love the short hole because I could play it. And the other one was great, but I knew I couldn't play it. That's why I like the short one better. But it was absolutely spectacular. Talking about being on the water. You're on the water. You're over the water. You're in the water.
Yep.
It was the best. That's a tough one to get on though. So that's a little unfair to share in some levels. Okay, this one is in the Norwegian Islands. Lofton Links. So we're going to have to do a bucket list to get to Lofton Links someday, Jay. But it looks absolutely spectacular. So something we might want to do.
El Paso.
Another one here, and this is in the great state of Michigan, which I played some courses there this last fall, but I need to go play a lot more because there's a great one. Crystal Downs. Any connection with that one, Jay?
I know it's done by a gentleman named Perry Maxwell, who's got his name associated to a lot of really great tracks. I have not played Crystal Downs. I've had opportunities. I just could not make them work schedule-wise, but I heard spectacular. Just really a funky, angular type golf course with a lot of hills rolling left and right to make it really challenging to kind of keep your ball in play.
For sure. And again, another place where you could probably go up and play for 2 or 3 straight weeks, northern Michigan, and not run into anything other than an excellent golf course. Another one here, which we mentioned earlier, Prairie Dunes. Did we mention Prairie Dunes?
Well, I don't know if we did or not, but I think it's in Hutchinson, Kansas, and I think it's also a Maxwell course. And it's just beautiful, and it is very much a wind-designed track because the wind blows out there every single day. Every single day.
Ellerston,
I have never heard of.
Okay, that's why, because it's in Sydney, Australia. So we don't know that one. We were down there. We played a couple of courses down in that area.
Yeah, we did. Nothing.
Sleepy Hollow.
Man, I do not know Sleepy Hollow. I know where it is. I think it's out on the in the Long Island area up in New York somewhere, Pearl. That's about all I know. It might be I don't know who designed it. One of the great old architects designed Sleepy Hollow.
C.B. McDonald.
C.B. McDonald is the same guy that designed St. Louis Country Club here in town. It's just it's my favorite course in town. It's a McDonald course. It's great. I love it. I have never played Sleepy Hollow though.
And you're right. It's up in the area and it gets hidden and overshadowed by the Shinnecocks of the area. Friars Head and other great golf
National,
courses.
Maidstone, all those great tracks out there. Yep.
Just another gem of a place. Okay, here we go. I shouldn't have taken this because I don't know how to pronounce these things. This one is Oopi Match Club. OOPEE. You would remember if you played this one just by the name.
Yeah, I have no idea about it. I don't know where it is. I don't know who did it. It sounds like it's a newer course is what I'll guess. Built in the last 15 years or so.
Yeah, up in Canada. That makes some sense. Oh, no, this is Cabot Links. You ever played Cabot Links?
Oh, yeah, that's beautiful. That's up in PEI. I think it's in Prince Edward Island. I think it's the guy that was Timmy Horton's partner. I think is the guy that is the money behind this. It's just spectacular. It's got a landing strip up there. It is God's country. It's beautiful.
That's the place I want to go play. Is out in Eastern Canada. I haven't. I played the Canadian Tour multiple times. I played quite a bit in Canada. I definitely have an attraction to the PEI, that whole Newfoundland area, etc. I love to travel all that. I love the water and everything. Jay, is Cabot Links, is that associated with the group? I thought they were called the Devil's Pulpit, the guys that came up with the Rubik's Cube.
I don't think so. I could be wrong, but I don't think so. This is going to wrap up another show. Come back next week for more Golf with Jay Delsing and Pearlie. In Upstate St. Louis.